Welcome to the Errol Jones Show on the hitradioshow.com reality radio network. Real people really talking about their reality. And now, let's join your host, Errol Jones.
Greetings, my friends. Greetings to my listening audience. I am so happy to be here. Truly, this is a new year. We are only 9 days into the new year. One of the things that makes me most happy on this morning is that I am pursuing and fulfilling my bucket list. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I am working on my bucket list this morning. The first thing that I've done during the 2016 year to fulfill my bucket list is to begin to grow my afro. I haven't had an afro in probably 40 years, and so I said, let me see if I can do it again, and we're growing an afro, and I have to tell you the absolute honest truth, it's driving me crazy. I haven't had this much hair in 40 years, and so when I reach my hand up and touch my head and feel all that hair, it makes me want to run to the barbershop, but I'm going to hold out, because if you want to reach your goals, if you want to accomplish your ambitions, and my afro is one of my goals and ambitions for my bucket list, you have to know how to hold on and hang in there. So I'm hanging in there now while I'm growing my afro. Welcome to the Errol Jones Show. This is a show that I'm excited about because it's taking me closer and closer to my specific goals that I want to accomplish in life and my specific aspirations. I spent quite a long time in school studying. I spent a long time reading. I spent quite a bit of hours working and all of those things to prepare me just in case I live to be this age, a ripe old 50-something, that I would be able to do some of the things I truly, truly love. Now, I've spent my life doing things that I love already, but this is where I'm at right now. The excitement that I feel right now for being able to give something back to the black community in this way. I've always worked in the black community. I've always helped people, black, white, whatever other color, brown, that you want to consider, different races of people. Some people have difficulty dealing race, but it's something that must be dealt with on a regular basis, or else it can overcome and destroy us all. There's no need to be ashamed of being a black person. There's no need to be ashamed if you're Asian. There's no need to be ashamed if you're white in today's society, unless those people are doing things that are shameful. Then you should be ashamed. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the National Black Business Report, which is a new business show that's going to air on www.letstalkbusinessradioshow.com. Let's Talk Business Radio Show.com. No, drop that radio show. Let's Talk Business.com. That's the one you want to go to your website, and you want to pull up on your website, access on your website, so that you too can be a part of what we are involved in. In fact, I had to go and check. Let me make sure. Here it is right here. Let's Talk BusinessRadioShow.com. I was right the first time. Let's Talk BusinessRadioShow.com. Write it down. Save it on your computer, because it's going to bring to you information that's going to help you in your business. It focuses on black business development, and one of the key elements of black business development is that it's not just about black business development. In order for black businesses to grow and grow very strong, you need to be able to bring money into the community, from outside of the black community. So the Black Business Report, even though it's focusing on black business development, we recognize the importance of working with people of all races. People of all races. All right, let's see which way we're going to go with this morning. First thing we're going to do is take a short commercial break, and then we're going to come back and start our program.
Keep listening. Much more coming up on the Errol Jones Show on the hitradioshow.com reality radio network. We'll be right back in a moment.
Youth can earn $500 plus in your spare time. Earn cash by starting a business. Learn how to make and manage your money. The Youth Business Internship Program is a program of the Legacy Leaders Academy. Register today to receive additional information at www.getjobs.us. www.getjobs.us. Free 30-day bootcamp startup program. You're being referred by number 100004. 100004.
Welcome back to Real People Really Talking About Their Reality. It's the Errol Jones Show on the hitradioshow.com Reality Radio Network.
Welcome back. That was a very brief commercial break. My name is Errol Jones, and I am here this morning excited with my new bucket list afro, and another element of my bucket list, another objective that is in my bucket list is to help to build the black community. I feel like I've studied too much. I know I've studied too much. I've spent too many hours, and I've read too many books, and I've networked with too many people, and I've worked too long in the churches and in the schools and in the trenches. That now that I'm this age, and I have not grown weary of it, but I'm rededicating my life now to focus on doing it my way. I've always done it my way. I'm focusing on really doing it my way. I'm old enough, grown enough, and financially stable enough to do pretty much what I would like to do in the way that I would like to do it. So that's what the agenda is for today, to introduce to you the National Black Business Report, which is a show that will be airing on www.letstalkbusinessradioshow.com. You will be able to access that show. You'll be able to find out information that's pertinent to black businesses here in the city of Houston and all across the country. We're excited about that. I'm so excited, I almost can't even get the show started. Why am I excited? I'm excited because I feel a sense of urgency. Philip Kotler, K-O-T-T-E-R, wrote a book called A Sense of Urgency. And John Kotter wrote A Sense of Urgency. Philip Kotler is a specialist in marketing. But John Kotter, K-O-T-T-E-R, wrote a book called A Sense of Urgency. By the way, we are simulcasting. So if you would like to see the show, you will be able to see the show if you visit jonestowers.com, and you will get access to our media production studio, and you will be able to view the show. And I don't know if you want to see me while I'm talking to you. Someone told me that I have a beautiful radio face. Yeah, a beautiful radio face. At first I thought it was a compliment. And we laughed about it. So if you would like to see me, you can see me on you can find me on jonestowers.com. Find us in the media center. In the meantime, we are going to focus on addressing this sense of urgency. He mentions two things in a sense of urgency. Number one, he talks about false urgency, true urgency, and complacency. And you all have heard me talk about this before if you look at some of the previous shows. False urgency is the urgency that when something happens, you get excited and you decide you must do something. It may not be connected to a long-term strategy or even a short-term strategy. It's just a matter of taking some sort of action. False sense of urgency, because it may or may not be the correct thing to do. A sense of complacency, you hear it when you hear people say, we've always done it this way. We're pretty much satisfied with the status quo. This is how we've done it. My mama did it. My daddy did it. My uncles do it. This organization, this is what we do. That's complacency. You found yourself in a position where whatever it is that you're doing is sufficient for the day. Therefore, you don't feel the need or the urge to change. Okay, well, you'll get what people that are complacent get. Pretty much the same thing that you've always gotten. And you already know what they say. If you continue to do what you've always done, you'll continue to receive the things that you are receiving. So if you're satisfied, then you can remain in complacency. and that's okay. But when you, as a complacent person, begin to talk to people who are not complacent, who feel a true sense of urgency, your message is not going to be heard. And in fact, it may be heard, but then it will be rejected. Now, who's rejecting your message often? Your young people. I work with them for years in classrooms. Your young people, your high schoolers, even your middle schoolers. They listen to the message and they may not really be able to respond to it because it doesn't meet their needs. Middle schoolers tend not to be as aware, but you can see that by the time they become high schoolers that they're going to start tuning into the idea that the message is coming from some of the older complacent people is not sufficient for their life. And so they begin to seek out alternative paths of activity. Some could be good, some may not be as good. So here we are, National Black Business Alliance, launching the National Black Business Report for Houston especially, but then all across the nation. Why are we doing this? I mentioned to you already that I've studied extensively, and I've studied my background in ministry. I've studied at the graduate level in education, curriculum design, at the graduate level in MBA program, in e-commerce, specializing in e-commerce. In each and every one of those chosen professions, chosen fields of expertise were things that I accomplished not because I didn't have anything else to do or because I was confused and didn't know where I was headed. Each one of those is relevant for me because it helped me to understand how and where and why I can help people of all races, but especially help my black folk. Look around and see if we don't have problems. Do you need me to recount the list of challenges that are facing the black community? And if they're facing the black community, they're facing the entire community. We're connected. We're in the same boat. We're all in this together. We're in this together. So when we sit down at the table and we begin to discuss, people of all races begin to discuss the issues that we are facing, black people have to have some input. And that's important to be at the table to give your input. But when you leave that table with mixed race, mixed-minded, and when I say that, people thinking differently, everyone has their own agenda. When you sit at that table and you're one of 10 people, then you're 10% likely to be able to be heard and have your objectives addressed accordingly. So when you leave that table as a black person, you need to be able to come back to your community and sit at a table with black people who understand the issues that we're facing, who understand the challenges that you encounter each and every day, who understands Pookie, who understands the PhD, black PhD, who has adopted many of the characteristics that you might see in the predominant society, generally the white society. They've learned the language and they've adopted certain characteristics so that they could function and survive. There are those that have to be able to function in an environment that's not all black. Now, those of us that are able to operate in that venue, that's great. But then when you come home, when you come back and you're around Pookie and some of the others who you may not spend a lot of time around, believe me, I can understand it. I understand why. But what I can't understand is why you would not give back. That's just not acceptable, because if you're a black person, highly trained, highly educated, and you're working in a predominantly white community, and you disregard, disrespect, and overlook the plight of your black community that you left behind, then you really have abandoned you've abandoned yourself. You've abandoned yourself, really. Who are you? Who are your children? One day you'll wake up and someone might tap you on your shoulder and remind you that even though you've assimilated into this community, you're really not one of us. You're really not one of us. Whether it's by design with evil intent, or whether it's just recognizing that everyone wants to, or most people want to make sure that they survive. That's just it's something biological about that. The survival of the organism. That's basic. It's basic. Survival. It's been built into our DNA. It's who we are as an organism. Try to hold your breath and kill yourself. You just can't do it. There's certain fail safes that allow you not to do so much damage to yourself that you destroy yourself. Okay, so let's move on to what we're talking about here. specifically. In the black community, black economics is an area that we must address. Economics, what is that all about? It's about the division of and use of resources. So black resources, how do we divide and implement, utilize black resources? What are the solutions for economic and community empowerment? Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu back in 1991 wrote a book called Black Economics, Solutions for Economic and Community Empowerment. Those of you that are watching on our simulcast, there it is. I have no financial gain to promote his book. I read this years and years ago, and as you can see, I still utilize it. It's important to look at some of the strategies that he suggests. There's another gentleman by the name of Claude Anderson for our simulcast. There it is, his book, Powernomics, and he talks about a national plan to empower black people. And I would probably be less than enthusiastic if I simply said I really love his work, because I really do love his work. How do we reach out to people? Reach out beyond just our neighborhood. I know for myself, I need to reach out beyond just my neighborhood and embrace the nation. And in fact, there's opportunities on a worldwide, global scale, but that at this particular point is not my highest priority. But on the national level, on a regional level, on a state level, on a citywide level, on a local church, local school, local neighborhood association level, I am extremely concerned. Now, I believe that if we address each one of those levels and develop black economics and solutions for economic and community development on each one of those levels, then we will impact the world. We will. So Jawanza Kunjufu, just to share some of the things that he spoke about in his book. And stick around, we're going somewhere with this. I want to share some things with you, but I'm going to lay the groundwork here first. He talks about the present status. And I marked when I first studied this, read it, it was back in December 28th, 1994. The present status. The history of black economic development. Chapter 3, why foreigners do so well. 4, the global economy. 5, obstacles to black economic development. 6, the responsibility of being an African American consumer. Responsibility of being an African American consumer. Number 7, starting your own business. And number 8, black economic empowerment. And it's so fitting that we leave off with chapter 8. We go directly to Claude Anderson's work, where he talks about the national plan to empower black America. So we go from Jawanza Kunjufu, who talks about these same things back in 1991 when he published his book, to today, we're talking about Claude Anderson, the national plan to empower black America, to tomorrow, where we're talking about the youth that we are developing who will make changes and make improvements and continue to push the agenda in the future. Past, present, and future, we're talking about all of that today. Now, in Dr. Anderson's book, Powernomics, he mentions 3 impediments, 3 things that are holding back the black community from his perspective. We're going to talk about those, and then we're going to address how do you resolve it. Number 1, he talks about maldistribution of wealth. Maldistribution of wealth. And if you want you want to hear more elaboration on this, then you can tune into the website at hitradioshow.com or HoustonIsTalking.com. And you can also find some of the conversation again at the Let's Talk Business Radio Show.com. But number 1, here's 3 things that are in our way. Maldistribution of wealth. Money has been, resources and wealth has been divided up unfortunately, in an awkward way, not awkward, in an unfair way, and that's not even the term. The money and the wealth has been divided up where just a small percentage of the people make the predominantly, overwhelmingly large amount of money. Number 2, inappropriate behavior patterns. There's some things that we do as a people that are inappropriate. And they're patterns of behavior that are not really being helpful to our purposes. And in fact, it's counterproductive in many cases. And number 3, there's no plan for empowerment. My friends would tell you, if I don't have anything else, Errol's going to have a plan. No plan for empowerment. Maldistribution of wealth, inappropriate behavior patterns, and no plan for empowerment. What are the keys to empowerment? 3 keys to empowerment. 1, we need to have an empowerment culture. Our mindset, our mentality, our culture needs to be about empowerment. Number 2, a group vision, things that we're doing as a group. That Lone Ranger is out there all by himself. That might have been acceptable at one time, but how's it working for you now? We need one another. We need to work together. We need to grow together. An empowerment culture, a group vision, and an ethno-aggregation and vertical integration. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? It looks like we might be having a small problem. I want to make sure that we're still on the air here live. We cannot afford to be dropping our signal like this. What's the problem here? Let me make sure that these people are not trying to play games. Maybe it's because I've been talking about black business. And there's a problem here somewhere. Seems like it might be. But let's keep going. Let's see if we can't make this thing happen. I'm going to call in to make sure that we're being heard. Technology, can't live with it, can't live without it. And I mentioned to you about having a plan. See, when you're in business, you have to be able to roll with the punches. Roll with the punches. You know, hold on one second. Let me let you listen to the song. We'll come back in a moment. All right, welcome back. I hope that I fixed that problem. We tried to switch over to another microphone. Maybe it wasn't a problem at all. I'm not quite sure, but we'll find out. Whoever was responsible for that, I'm probably going to have to fire them. But since I am the engineer, I'll have to fire myself. And that's not really a problem. See, when you own your own business, you can fire yourself, and then you can give yourself the job back. So what we will do is make sure that we correct that problem so we don't continue to have that kind of a problem. Let's see where we are going to go with that. I just mentioned to you the 3 keys to empowerment. ethno-aggregation, vertical integration. What that talks about is building business from the ground floor up, So that's what we're doing. We're helping young people earn income, teaching our local community members how to start businesses, to be involved in entrepreneurship. That's our goal, that's our objective, and that's what we're doing. You might want to take a second look at your career, take a second look at your life and see, are you where you really want to be? And if you're not, then you may want to consider reinventing your career. And I would suggest that when you are looking at redirecting your career, and then you are reinventing your career, that you adopt a business model that will allow you to do what you would like to do. I'm engaged right now doing something I would like to do. I'm up early in the morning recording a show, producing a show, fixing the problems. I'm doing what I really would like to do. I'm having great fun at it. And we want to encourage you to be able to do the same thing. So you might want to adopt a business model that will help you to reinvent your career. We can help you do that. Find us at Jones Towers. Contact me through Jones Towers or at info@Jones Towers, and we can assist you with that. Now, when you reinvent your career, you have to offer people something that they really want. What's the value? What are you doing? People will pay you if you bring value. They'll exchange their money, their assets, for whatever it is that you're offering. Now, you have to offer more than, hey, it's me, buy from me because I'm black. No, it takes a little bit more than that. You need to have a value proposition, create products and services that your customers really want. Make it happen for them. So if you really want to earn income as a black entrepreneur, you have to make sure you address your value proposition. And so we can also help you with that value proposition, talking about the National Black Business Alliance here. Now, how do you get help? How do we help you? Well, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but we're going to introduce it to you today. If you have not, we're going to just add just a little bit of knowledge to your knowledge base already. And we've developed a business incubator service. The National Black Business Alliance is a business incubator service. It's a help build business program. When you successfully complete a business incubation program, the likelihood that your startup company will stay in business for the long term, historically, 87% of incubator graduates stay in business. 87% of incubator graduates stay in business. You do know the statistics say that 9 out of 10 businesses fail within 3 years. Well, if you participate in an incubator service, you have changed those odds to the point where almost 90% of those that complete a program remain in business. Let me just read this to you. The National Black Business Alliance is a business incubator program designed to increase the successful development of startup, early stage, and existing small businesses through a variety of entrepreneurial support resources and services. Our management team offers products and services through the NBBA Incubator and its network of contacts, clients, and possibly your business. Most businesses fail within the first 3 years. Companies that participate in the incubator tend to succeed at an 87% rate. The NBBA Incubator program relies on successful networking and referral systems designed to build teams of clients, prospects, or leads, earn income through networking, and then teaching and telling others how to do the same. As far back as 2005 alone, just in that year alone, North American incubation programs assisted more than 27,000 companies that provided employment for more than 100,000 workers and generated annual revenues of $17 billion. What are the services that an incubator can provide? Common incubator services help with basic business needs, networking activities, provide marketing assistance, high-speed internet presence, help with accounting and financial management, access to bank loans, loan funds, and guarantee programs, help with presentation skills. The incubation services generally link to higher education resources, linked to strategic partners, access to angel investors or venture capital, comprehensive business training programs. These are the things that incubator programs can do for you. Advisory boards and mentors, management team identification, help with business etiquette, technology commercialization assistance, help with regulatory compliance, intellectual property management, See, an incubator can help you with all of these things. Different type of incubators do different kinds of things. Unlike many other business assistance programs, business incubators do not serve any and all companies. Entrepreneurs and business owners who wish to enter the NBBA Business Development Program must apply for admission. Although most incubators offer their clients office space and shared administrative services, the heart of a true business incubation program is the services it provides to startup companies. What does the NBBA provide specifically? Here's what we specialize in. Number one, e-business. That's using technology to improve business effectiveness and efficiency. E-business models. E-commerce. That's a little different than e-business. E-commerce, generating income using online strategies. We offer business internship programs for young people. Marketing services that primarily have an effective approach to word-of-mouth marketing. We also provide multi-level marketing. Now, successful multi-level strategies can generate a tremendous amount of money. The word multi-level marketing scares so many people. That's why we're here. We're here to teach. You need to recognize the benefits and how you can benefit from a multi-level company. Because you ate at one restaurant and you didn't like the food there, doesn't mean that you stop eating at all restaurants. Because you're involved in two or even three multi-level companies that were not your cup of tea, didn't really work for you, left you with a number of products stored in your garage, unopened even, unsold. It's called front loading. We also offer business classes and workshops, access to training by expert business resources both online and in person. We have business coaching for individuals and group sessions that are available both online and in person, and affiliate programs, which is an income generating opportunity for promoting our products and services. And then lastly, business incubation has been identified as a means of meeting a variety of economic and socio-economic policy needs, which include what? This is the business incubator bucket list here. Creating jobs and wealth, bucket list. Fostering a community's entrepreneurial climate, bucket list. Technology commercialization, building or accelerating growth of a local industry. Business creation and retention, encouraging women or minority entrepreneurship, identifying potential spin-in and spin-out business opportunities, community revitalization. The NBBA, fostering community development through Black entrepreneurship, not to exclude others, but to be inclusive, especially of the Black community. The NBBA. Check us out. Visit us in Jones Towers. My name is Errol Jones, the founder of the National Black Business Alliance. We are here. We're not going anywhere if God says the same, to help to develop the Black community, to become a meaningful and to become a more meaningful and more of a contributor to the general population here in America. It's the bucket list, y'all. You should have one. If you don't, give us a call. Telephone number is 866-495-1668. 866-495-1668. If you're interested in working with young people and earning between $5,000 and $10,000 monthly, you need to give us a call. No, better yet, you need to register at www.getjobs.us. GETJOBSS.us. Put your name there. We'll contact you, send you some information. And if we do not put at least $500 to $5,000 to $10,000 in your pocket, we have not done our job. I'm not used to failing. Not used to failing. That's the objective. That's the focus. That's the direction. That's the mission. My name is Earl Jones. This is the hitradioshow.com. We want to encourage you to tune in also at the letstalkbusinessradioshow.com, where we will be more specifically dealing with entrepreneurship and business. Houston is talking about the National Black Business Alliance. Houston is talking about the National Black Business Report. Houston is talking. Why don't you let them talk about your company? Have a great day. My name is Earl Jones. We're out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Earl Jones Show on the hitradioshow.com Reality Radio Network.